Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and before the video starts today, I just wanted to thank everyone who's helped get me over 100 subscribers so far on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun filming these daily videos, and I really enjoy interacting with you guys down in the comments. I wanted to give a special shout out today to three people, Right Pedal Down, Squizzle, and VJex. They've been commenting a lot down below. They've been talking to me about how their teams are running, giving ideas for future videos, and it's been a lot of fun talking with these guys and everyone who's commented down below. Really, I do appreciate it, and I hope that we can continue to grow as a channel, as a community, and help improve the raid community as a whole. So again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and let's get into the video. Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about masteries. Now I just want to do a quick guide on how to properly mastery your champions. I know a lot of people just look up champion guides and copy paste exactly what they see on that person's masteries. But as you get further into the game and you have champions that you want in a specific role that maybe that other person is not using them in, you really need to be able to decide what masteries are going to help me where. And so I want to be able to help you do that today. So first, let's talk about fighting the Minotaur. This is where you're going to be getting all of your scrolls throughout the game. And so if you come in here early game, you could probably get to about stage 4 before you start running into any sort of issues. And here you get 4 to 6 basic scrolls. Now it takes 5 for tier 1 masteries, which is the average here. So if you can come in here and just get your tier 1 across the board for your 5 champions, you'll be looking pretty good. 5% crit rate is very nice, along with 10 accuracy, so that should help you out a lot. And then maybe once you get down to like stage 9 or so, you could start doing your tier 2 once you get 9 to 14 per. And then after you finish tier 2, I wouldn't suggest farming anymore until you can do either 14 or 15. So for 15 here, you're seeing you get 24 to 32 basic scrolls per run, 11 to 16 advanced, and 6 to 12 divine. Now this is definitely your fastest method of getting it, and if you're farming something like 11, it's going to take forever. It already takes forever on stage 15. Let's look at some math here. In order to fully master one champion on stage 15, it takes anywhere from 122 to 219 runs. Now 122 would be the absolute best. That means that you got the top amount of scrolls on every single run. 219 would be you got the absolute worst, lowest amount of scrolls on every run. But you're talking about an amount of energy somewhere between 1708 and 3066. That's for one champion to get their full masteries. So it is a lot, and when you're first starting out the game, you need to do that for 5 champions in order to get them fully going on the Minotaur. So it is difficult. It takes a long time. It took me a long time in order to get through my first Minotaur grind, but it is worth it because it is impossible to do in-game content without masteries. They are so helpful. They become your main source of damage in the end game, and you really just can't do without them. So let's go ahead and look at some champions here, and I'll kind of walk you through their masteries and see if I can show you exactly how I thought out the process of choosing them and kind of what you could do in order to mastery your own champions. So the first thing first, when I come in here and I'm looking at masteries, I'm deciding, all right, what tier 6 mastery do I want? So Tormund the Cold, he's only coming into arena for me. I want him to place tons of freezes. So I look down here and I say Fearsome Presence increases the chances of placing a stun, sleep, freeze, or provoke debuff from skills or artifacts by 5%. So I say cool, my Tormund, I want him to place a bunch of freezes with his A1, with his passive, and with the frost that I have on him. So this is going to be perfect. So now I have to think, all right, well, I want to get down here. What am I going to take to get there? So in arena, these are kind of some of the better things that you can take. So like rejuvenation, increased healing and shield buffs they receive. Resurgent, 50% chance to remove a random debuff on this champion when they lose 25% of their max HP or more from a single hit. They say, cool, that sounds great on Tormund, because if he dies and revives himself, he gets frozen, but if they come in and hit him again for more than 25% of his max HP, that freeze might drop off and we'll be looking good. Next, I say delayed death. Okay, I mean, nothing special, but I'm just trying to work my way down. And Harvest Despair, placing a leech, not that helpful in arena. I don't want that. Solidarity, increase ally resist by 5 for each buff placed on them. No, don't care. I'm not placing buffs really. So I'm going to take that decreased damage I'm taking a little bit and get Cycle of Revenge here. So 50% chance of increasing turn meter by 15% when an ally is hit with a crit. Very good. I want to move faster. Speed is the name of the game in arena, even with Tormund out there trying to slow you down. And finally, I'm going to take Retribution here because I want to counterattack with my A1 since I have a good chance to freeze on that. So 50% chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max HP or more from a single enemy skill. Say, cool, I want to get a bunch of freezes out there, so that's going to help me. And now I'm down here to Fearsome Presence. Now if I had built over here, over to Selfless Defender, or actually that's it. That's the only one who doesn't touch it. But if I had built over here instead and built 2 tier 5 masteries over here, then I'd be screwed. There would be no way that I could go to Fearsome Presence. And that's why it is important to decide what tier 6 mastery you want first and how you're going to get there before you spend any of your scrolls. Because believe me, I've done it. I know lots of people have done it where they've built it all the way down. It's like, wait, oh no, I can't get Giant Slayer because I came into Methodical and I got Sniper and Master Hexer, and now I have to use my free reset in order to come through and do that. And now if I ever want to change my masteries again, it's going to be 150 gems. So very important to plan it out ahead of time. And so this is an arena champion. Like I said, I'm not bringing him into any dungeons, so I don't want the offense tree. I'm not coming down for War Master, which does enemy max HP damage, or Giant Slayer, which does the same. He's not a damage dealer, so I just want him to be placing all those freezes. So I'm coming into support next. I'm saying, yes, I want that accuracy. Yes, please, more accuracy. Swarm Smiter, more accuracy. I want as much as I can get. I'm going to take Arcane Celerity, so when my freezes are wearing off, I can get some turn meter increase. Evil Eye, I want him to be able to decrease my enemy's turn meter a little bit, because like I said, speed's the name of the game in Arena. Cycle of Magic, I probably actually would not choose now. This was a little bit of a mistake back then, but has a 5% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn at the start of every turn. So it's decent, you know, it can help me get my Provoke back around sooner. But for the gear I have, I probably would want him in... Actually, you know what? Since I have him in a Frost set, Lore of Steel, not that helpful. It would give me a little bit more accuracy. But Cycle of Magic is just fine too. So scratch that, not a mistake. Just not the most consistent value. And then finally, I came down here into Spirit Haste. Now, Spirit Haste increases speed by 8 for each dead ally, up to 24. Not super important on Tormund, but I'm not placing buffs, you know, I'm not getting lasting gifts. And neither Sniper nor Master Hexer apply to freeze, so I can't take either of those and have it be useful for me. And I didn't want a little red dot on my screen, so Spirit Haste it was. So that's kind of my thought process for gearing out Tormund and his masteries, you know. I know where I want to use him, I know what tier 6 mastery I want for him, and now how do I get there and make the most out of him in my arena team? So now let's look at someone like Arbiter, who I've built for clan boss as well as arena. So I'm saying, okay, well, I want her to be good in clan boss first and foremost. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to grab the crit rate, I'm going to grab the crit damage, and I'm going to make my way over here to Heart of Glory. So increased damage inflicted by 5% when attacking with full HP. Okay, I'm probably going to have full HP pretty often, so I'll go ahead and take that. Single Out increases the damage inflicted to targets with less than 40% HP by 8%. Alright, well, Clan Boss, a lot of the day is going to be under 40% HP, so that's good. I can do some more damage. Bring it down. Clan Boss is always going to have higher max HP than your champions, so you can do a little bit 6% extra damage. Methodical, I'm going to be using my A1 a lot, so come in here and do 2% extra damage each time it's used during the battle, up to 10%. And finally, I'm coming into War Master because my Arbiter has a 2-hit A1, a one-hit 8-2, and the other abilities don't attack at all. So I'm definitely going to get the most value out of a 60% chance on War Master. Sorry if you can hear a jackhammer in the background. I guess there's some construction going on next door. But this can only activate once per skill, unlike Giant Slayer, but it does not count as an extra hit as well. Something like Giant Slayer is better for a 3-hit A1 champion like a Rosin Scarhide or an Aethel, who can come in here, hit 3 times, so even though it's only a 30% chance, it still has a high chance to proc. And this one can hit more than 1 time per turn, still doesn't count as an extra hit. But Giant Slayer overall outperforms War Master if the champion has an A3 which hits more than 3 times per turn. Well, 3 or more times per turn. So that's not the case with Arbiter, so I'm coming down here to War Master. And I'm saying, okay, so I've got that. What else do I need? Well, I want her to be good in Arena, and I want her to be good in Dungeons. So I'm going to take support. I also want her to bring a weaken for me in the clan boss, which is very important. I'm going to say, okay, well, I want the accuracy for the weekend, so I'm going to come in here. Exalt in Death heals this champion by 10% of their max HP the first time his enemy is killed each round. That's good for Arena, good for waves as well, just get a little bit of healing in. I would take Charge Focus, but she's never going to use her A1 when none of her skills are on cooldown, so no point. Rapid Response, I want that extra turn meter. Arbiter, you know, needs to go fast, fast, fast. That's her whole goal. So 30% chance of increasing turn meter by 10% when a buff wears off. Same thing with Arcane Celerity, but it's when a debuff wears off, so that would be her weaken. So that's just going to keep us moving quicker. Laura Steele, she's in all speed set, so this is going to really boost up her speed, which we want. And then Evil Eye, I take her into Spider. I want to be able to drop that turn meter, so Evil Eye is going to come in here. We're going to drop 20% turn meter on our first A1, and that's going to be very helpful. It's also very good in Arena to just come in and drop some turn meter, because in Arena, speed is the name of the game. So if they're not going as often as you, then you are looking good. Then finally down here in tier 5, I say, okay, well, I'm not going for a tier 6 mastery here. I can't. So I don't have to worry about where I'm landing, but what do I want? So Sniper, extra 5% chance to place my weaken. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And Spirit Haste. Now, this is a typically useless mastery unless you are a reviver. So my Arbiter is a reviving champion, and I want her to get around to revive my team as quickly as possible. So increase the speed by 8 for each dead ally. Thank you very much. I'm going to get around, I'm going to bring them all back up, and we will be looking good. So that's how you have to kind of work around the team to make sure that it's working in every area that you want to bring them into. Like Evil Eye, if I'm going against the clan boss only with my Arbiter, I don't want it. It's not going to help me at all. So if I'm just thinking about how to build her for clan boss, no thank you. But since I know I'm going to be bringing her into Arena, and I know I have this slot open because I've already made my way down to War Master, then I'm going to go ahead and take that. So finally, let's look at, let's say, a Miscreated Monster here. So Miscreated Monster, he's someone that I'm not bringing into Clan Boss. I'm not bringing him into Arena, but he's a great carry for Dungeons. So I'm going to say, okay, I want him to place big shields for me, and I want him to do some damage against the Spider Boss and the Fire Knight potentially, back when I first kitted him out. So I said, okay, I want War Master because I want him to be able to do the damage against the boss and place the shields. So I'm going to take crit rate, I'm going to take crit damage so I can do those shields. I'm already gone over all of these, so I'm coming straight down here into War Master. I'm saying thank you very much. Now I can do 4% of target's max HP to the Spider Boss, which is very good. I already know that with these, my shields are going to be big enough to keep me alive. But if they're not, let's say like you have a team that does a lot of damage but is very squishy, then you say, okay, I don't want War Master. I do enough damage to the Spider, but I do want bigger shields. So instead of War Master, I'm going to make my way down here to Helm Smasher. That way I can have a 50% chance of ignoring 25% of the target's defense. And that stacks on top of if you already ignore defense, which he does not. I'm gonna say, yeah, I want that. Now I'm doing more damage to the spiderlings with my A2, and my shields are bigger, so my team can survive a little bit better. And that's what you got to be thinking about with a carry. You know, how can I maximize the ability for him to help me? So since I know my shields are good enough, I'm taking War Master. If yours aren't, you're going Helm Smasher. And then also, I say that's cool. If he kills spiderlings as well, he's going to do some extra damage, which is cool, up to 12%. That's going to increase his shields as well. And now I want to place stuns. Okay, so I can place stuns, I can place decreased defense, I can place fear. So if it was only stuns, again, I'd come down here to Fearsome Presence, like on Tormund, and get that 5%. But since I can do a lot of fears as well, I want that accuracy. So I'm taking 10 accuracy, taking 20 when nothing's on cooldown. I'm taking Swarm Smiter because I'm bringing this guy into Spider for sure. So I want that extra accuracy for all the spiderlings. I'm going to take Rapid Response. So I'm getting some more turn meter when my buffs wear off. And that's very helpful for Miscreated Monster because he does place a lot of buffs with his ally protection and heal on himself and stuff. In fact, in a spider dungeon, like if that's the only place you're taking him, I would actually take Arcane Celerity instead because he'll be placing so many debuffs, he'll get tons of turn meter. But either one is fine, they're both helpful for him. And then I'm taking Cycle of Magic, so I have a 5% chance to get back around to that A2 as quickly as possible. So that's pretty cool. I do want the A2 coming out a lot, so that's very nice. Also got Evil Eye, and when I'm taking him into Spider, I want him to drop that turn meter. So boom, Evil Eye is going to help me do that. 20% on my first A1 is just going to help out. And finally, we're going into Lasting Gifts here. So 30% chance to extend the duration of any buff cast by this champion by 1 turn. So that's going to help me increase the duration of my shields, as well as my ally protection. So that's going to help out a lot because if the spiderlings can't get through the shields in 3 turns to knock them down, then that's 1 more turn in order for them to stay up and just keep my champions alive. So that's 3 different champions, 3 different ideas behind their builds, and I hope that you guys were able to kind of see the process that I took in choosing those masteries. You want to choose your tier 6 first. You want to think about, where is this champion going with me? What other champions are going to be with them? Like for instance, I'll show you in Rosin Scarhide right here. One of the masteries I took here is Opportunist. I would never take this on Rosin Scarhide, except I know he's coming into Arena with my Tormund. So if they're under a freeze debuff, it will increase my damage by 12%. Yes, please. Thank you very much. I want that. But otherwise, if I'm not coming in with someone like a Tormund or a Trunda who does an AoE stun, then this would be useless for me. So you need to take all those things into consideration, and you need to kind of plan out your route before you start buying. That way you don't end up in a situation, like I said, where you've taken Methodical, Sniper, and Master Hexer, and now you can't get to your Giant Slayer. This, as long as you're thinking it through ahead of time, not just going in and buying stuff as you go, it will really help you to save on gems, because I don't know how many gems I've spent resetting because I rushed headlong into it back in the old days. So I hope this can save you some of that gem money, and I hope it was helpful to you so that you can go forward and feel confident in picking your own masteries. So subscribe for future content. Let me know in a comment down below if there's any sort of specific content you'd like to see me do in the future, and thanks.